This week I'm in Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, which encompasses 14 islands on the vast Stockholm archipelago on the Baltic Sea. It's the land of green parks, historic buildings, and lots of islands and rivers. Welcome to GlobeTrotter. I'm Jon Haggins. I'm here in Stockholm, Sweden, and I'm here at the Haymarket Hotel. It's a new hotel that just opened, and we're so excited to share this with you. And the old city, what can be better than that? I am so excited to be here in Stockholm. This is my second time. It's so wonderful to be here at the Haymarket, and Lois Sandberg, that's you, the general manager of this great property. You know, it's a boutique hotel. It's very special. The rooms are special. You're special. So talk about the history of the hotel.
Well, it's only 2 months old now. We opened on the 10th of May this year, in spring. But actually the building is much older. It was a department store.
Right.
It was opened in 1925.
And Garbo worked here.
Yes, that's right. She was only 15 years old when she started to work here as a clerk at the head department store.
Right. And 5 years later, she was in Hollywood. This is so exciting. We're coming into the Haymarket Hotel with you, my friend, my new friend. I'm so excited. As the general manager, what's so very special about this hotel to you?
It's the ambiance. We want to be a new social scene in Stockholm, a meeting place for people from all over the world to come here together with local people from Stockholm, just for pleasure, for business, for meetings, and to create some good news idea and make good decisions when they are here.
And a lot of people come because of the cruise on the Baltic Sea, so they stop over, which is fantastic.
That's right. Now in the summer time we have a lot of tourists who comes from the States, but also from other countries who are on the cruising ship in the Baltics.
It's very international.
Yes, that's how it should be.
And that's the whole flavor.
Yes.
You know, it's Garbo, it's the movies, it's excitement.
Yes. It's thrilling, and the guests just love it. What we do is that we take the best from the 20s, our inspiration from the modernism and how the modern lifestyle in the Western world started in the 20s with the jazz music. New modern dance, the film industry, the movies, etc. The Art Deco design, and the great painters, Picasso and others, who became more well known at that time. And we fill it with a modern concept as well.
And you have a film, and you have a film on the wall as well, which I think is fantastic. So you can always see. There's always something to see, something to do, places to go, people to see.
So where do you want to go now?
I think we're going to go up and see the chef.
Oh, the chef, yeah.
Yes.
We have a great chef here and a great cuisine.
Yeah.
Our restaurant is called Paul's.
And why is it called Paul's?
It's because of the founder of the department store. His name was Paul Urbanus Bergström. And he was a self-made man. He came very young to Stockholm from the countryside in the south. He had no money at all, and he started to work as a clerk in a boutique shop at that time. But he was a very, very good salesperson. So he would discover that he was doing good business, and he made some money himself. So after a few years, he was offering to buy and to opening his first shop of his own. And about 10 years later, he had actually bought all the shops around the square.
Wow.
So he became a little bit Mr. Haymarket.
Yes.
And then in 1925, he can build this enormous building.
Gustav, you're the head chef here at Paul's.
Yes.
And Paul's is named from the original owner of the department store. And you're making some of the most colorful dishes. Tell me about the dish that you're going to prepare now.
We're going to prepare a burrata dish. This is a lovely creamy burrata that we just got from Italy today, as well as the figs.
Love figs.
Yeah.
Oh my
Great.
God.
The sweetness goes very well with the fatty, milky creaminess of the
Oh,
burrata.
yeah.
With some like the roasted figs and some bitter leaves and mint oil and some aged balsamic vinegar.
And what are those over there? Are those,
All those
nuts?
I forgot about those pine nuts as well.
Ah,
We just roasted off in some butter.
oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's
So
something
it's not a
happening.
garnish, it's a part of the actual dish.
it is.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. So let's get going with it.
Yeah.
That's great.
So we're gonna start with the figs.
Right?
Gonna dust them with some icing sugar.
I love that.
Yeah, it just brings out the sweetness a bit,
Right?
and also get them a bit warm.
Right. So does this dish ever have to marinate for a while?
No, it's half a minute.
Oh,
Just freshness.
right. And
But,
this caramelizes it, I guess.
Yeah,
Whoa!
so
Whoa! That's exciting.
it's fine.
And how long do you have to do that, by the way? Just for a couple of seconds on
Yeah.
each one?
Yeah, just until it turns
Until it's
nicely-
crystallized.
Yeah,
Wow.
brown, and it doesn't matter if it gets a little black.
Right.
That's just fine.
Makes it crisper.
It doesn't really make it crisp.
Well, it's a part of the caramelizing.
Because the sugar and the water of the figs start to go out
Right.
instantly. To accompany this, we're going to put together a bitter salad,
Ooh.
just to cut the fatty richness of the burrata.
Right, okay.
So we got some red and yellow almond
Ah.
that we're going to put in a few.
And how much of that do you put in?
Maybe 4, 5 pieces,
Ah, okay.
and a little frisee,
Ah,
which also is quite bitter.
yeah. So you have bitter, you have sweet, you have all these different things happening at the same time.
Exactly, and the sourness from the vinegar in the end as well. So
Right. And what is the green stuff?
this is
Yeah.
a mint oil.
Ah,
So just neutral oil that we infuse with some mint.
how wonderful.
It's lovely.
So is it like an olive oil with mint?
It's just rapeseed oil.
Oh,
All right.
grapeseed. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, wow. That's,
So it has no flavor before we put the mint in.
yeah,
We just heat it to 72 degrees.
right.
Then we put the mint in, mix it, and strain it through a coffee filter.
Right. How fantastic.
And you get this lovely, vibrant color.
I've never seen that before. That's great.
We're also going to put in some radicchio, bitter again, and some tiny mint leaves.
Ooh, I love mint.
Not too much because we get the mint flavor from the oil as well, and we're
Right.
going to put plenty.
Right.
You'll see that later.
So it's like a pinch of this and a pinch of that that you're putting together,
Yeah, exactly. Now we're just going to dress this with some of the oil
right?
and a bit of molten sea salt.
So that's like a tablespoonful, I guess,
Yeah.
basically.
Basically a tablespoon.
Yeah,
Just to cover, give them a
Right.
nice shine.
right.
Some molten sea salt,
A pinch.
a pinch. Yes.
Right.
I'm actually going to go and mix this and always taste to see if it's right. That's why I put a few extra leaves in.
Right.
So, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. Can I
So-
taste that?
Of course, I put a few extra leaves in so that,
I love the mint.
yeah,
And the oil. Oh my God. That's really good.
yeah.
I could eat just that. I don't even need the other stuff.
Oh, and it's great. It's going to be even better with
I'm
with
sure.
the cheese and the figs. So, yeah, we're about to finish up here. I'm going to take this. It's a bit fragile, and it's very, very fresh. And just open this up a bit, so you see that
Oh,
milk
the gooey stuff.
starts to run out a bit.
And this,
Taste.
and you said this comes from Italy.
Yeah, as well as the figs actually.
Ah.
So it's a celebration of. Not to forget, I need to season the burrata a bit as well.
Little sea salt
A
again.
little sea salt again.
Right.
So, just place figs around it.
I can imagine what it tastes like. My God.
Yeah.
Just from the taste of the salad alone, which is fantastic.
Yeah? You like what you imagine?
Oh, yes.
Great.
There's nothing better than fresh food and fresh
Yeah.
fruit and fresh everything. Fresh
Exactly.
cheese.
When you got such a good burrata like this, you don't need to complicate it too much, I think. The
Right.
burrata should speak for itself, really. So get some pine nuts.
Or another
Which-
little pinch of
Just
pine
a
nuts.
pinch.
Yeah.
It's a little
Everything is a pinch.
pinch of everything. That's it. And then this is not a pinch. This is quite a lot of the mint oil.
Right. Wow.
Just to finish it off,
Okay.
give a little acidity.
Okay.
We have some aged balsamic vinegar,
Ooh,
again from Italy.
that gives
Sort
it
of a celebration of Italy here in Sweden.
that gives it another little bump.
Yeah. Just.
You know what I love about the chefs today? Everything is so artistically done, so beautiful to look at, and then tastes so good as well.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And that's it. Burrata with figs and bitter salad and pine nuts.
What could be better than
amazing.
that? Chef Gustav has prepared the most wonderful summer dish. It's colorful, it's light, it's so refreshing. He's used some of the ingredients from Italy, and you know, I can't wait to taste it. Oh my God, the figs, you know, the whole idea of having a summer salad. I love the little pine nuts. I love the cheese. I love the greens. I love the oil, everything about it, even the sea salt. You know, you got the sweetness, you get the salty. It's kind of a sassy dish, sassy summer dish. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's so refreshing. Loge, I think this is such a fabulous hotel. I love the velvet.
Thank
I
you.
love the whole ambiance of the hotel. The Haymarket is new, 2 months. How
Yes.
fabulous is that?
The most famous co-workers at the department store was Greta Garbo. At that time, she was called Greta Gustafsson.
Oh.
She was only 15 when she started to work here as a clerk at the head department. And she was very beautiful at that time already. And so they asked her to take part in a commercial movie of that time, and also in printed ads for hats
Right.
at the department store. And that was how she was discovered. And Haymarket as a hotel is very much inspired from the 20s, from the social and culture scene from the 20s, from the movies, the film industry, from fashion and retail. And outside here we have a great marketplace, a flower market, and where you also can buy groceries. And it has been a marketplace since 1620.
And how many rooms do you have?
We have 405 rooms.
So this would not be considered a boutique hotel, would it?
No, a boutique hotel is a smaller hotel, up to 75 rooms, I would say.
I see.
So it's more like a big lifestyle hotel.
Right.
A new social scene in Stockholm, a meeting place for people from all over the world to enjoy the bar, the cafe, which we have called after Greta. We call it the Greta's Cafe. And the bar is called American.
Sophia Lindesall, you are the public relations, marketing, social media person of the hotel. What else do you do here? I mean, you obviously are holding the walls up, I think, in the hotel.
I like to think that, yes.
Yeah.
No, I have an incredible team, of course. And I mean, look at this product. It's very, very easy to work with marketing and PR when you have this to show every day.
Now, Sophia, tell me about the railings.
We looked at pictures from the original building in the 20s.
The menu is very healthy. The base is vegetarian food,
Right. Is it organic?
organic, and also we serve some raw food here. But we believe also in the free choice, so you can combine the green line, so to say, with if you want some fish,
Right.
or some seafood, or even some meat.
So it's everything.
And we end up in the evening with oysters and champagne.
And you have an outside. And what's so great is the weather here is fantastic. It's a summertime. It's a perfect time,
Yes.
you know, to actually to be outside, you
Yes.
know, and to share the square and the people and, you know, the chatter, you know, the women are here and the men are here. It's life.
Yeah.
It's life in Stockholm.
Yeah.
Chasing wild ass. Oh, it's not what you're thinking. baking. It's a narrative of my travel around the world. I have interspersed photos and aromatic recipes, which allows you to dream, discover, and rediscover these great destinations around the world. The title of the book came about while we were chasing jackasses in Kutch Wild Ass Sanctuary in Gujarat, India. And I thought that was a great title for the book. This is food for the soul. Not only does it allow you to dream, it's adventure, it's history, it's culinary, it's culture, with a sense of humor to spice it up. Chasing Wild Ass is a celebration of life. You have to live each day as if it's your last. Remember, my world is your world. So get up, get out, and travel!
Water is part of the Stockholm identity and the Stockholm heritage. And I mean, the reason why we have a city called Stockholm is the location in between the Baltic and the Lake of Mälaren, the third largest of the big lakes in Sweden. But the inner harbor here is where we take our boats to go to the archipelago. And the archipelago is the island world, one can say, in between Stockholm and the open Baltic Sea. There are more than 30,000 islands. And many Stockholmers, they have their summer homes on the islands, and about 15,000 people live out in the archipelago or year round.
Marco Gertz, what a great name. German origin, right?
Yeah.
And you're here in Stockholm, and you're going to share, you're a great guide, so I've been told.
Thank you
and
so much.
You're going to share some of the wonderful history and what people can do when they come to Stockholm.
Stockholm is a green city. It's a city on water. It's surrounded by water and it's built on islands.
Many islands.
Many islands, 14 islands, but in between Stockholm and the open Baltic Sea, we have more than 30,000 islands.
Wow, how fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So the water is really one of our greatest assets, you could say.
And the history here, I mean, like the Old Town, which is from the 13th century, but a lot of it's from the 17th century and 18th century. And then you said part of the city is part of the 20th century as well. So it has a lot of variety. And behind us we have the City Hall, which is great for venues. People come here and they have their great events. I was here for a great event with the candles coming off the cake. It was a real celebration.
Yeah, the City Hall is known all over the world for the Nobel Prize banquet. That's the big thing. But that's not the only thing. It's really, really important because it markets Stockholm in Sweden. But the City Hall is also the home of the City Council. And the City Council is very important to us and very, very powerful.
And so you have a king and a queen.
That's true. Carl Gustav and Silvia, that's the king and the queen of Sweden.
Right.
You know, Sweden has been a monarchy for 1,000 years, which is a long time. And we still have a lot of royal traditions which are integrated into our culture. The king is the head of state. He has the highest formal position in our country. And,
does he make decisions?
No, he does not make decisions, but he's briefed by the government on regular intervals. He must know what goes on in the kingdom. And the king is always there when the parliamentary year begins, for instance. He's the first one to hold a speech in the chamber. And all the members are seated, waiting for the king to enter. And when he enters, they all stand up and they sing the king's song.
How fantastic. What a celebration.
Yeah, we sing a lot in Sweden. I don't know if you know that we have the most choirs per capita in the world.
I didn't
actually.
know that.
600,000 active choir singers in Sweden. You know, we have 30 inner city beaches in Stockholm.
And you also fish.
That's true.
You know, from the sea here or the rivers, which I think is fantastic.
No, that's true. By the Royal Palace, which is only a 15-minute walk from here, you can actually stand with a rod and you can fish salmon in the heart of Stockholm.
You know, that's like royal salmon.
Yeah, royal salmon, definitely. No, that's exactly what it is, royal salmon.
Well, that's really good. What is this building behind us up on the hill?
Up on the hill, are you talking about the church with the black spire? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Knights Church. It's the burial church of the kings and queens and the nobility.
Ah, so it's royal.
It's a regal church,
yes.
and it's also part of the Swedish church. You know, in Sweden, most of us are Lutheran, and the church. Actually, the separation of church and state was only 16 years ago, in the year 2000.
Really?
So almost 70% of all Swedish people are members of the Swedish church. One could describe the City Hall as an encyclopedia of Swedish art and design and architecture, I would say. It was built between 1911 and 1923 by the architect Ragnar Östberg, who wanted to build something very Swedish. It's built in what we call the national romantic style. It's all about promoting Sweden and Stockholm as a nation, as a city. It's built out of Swedish materials. That was very important. The bricks are locally made. The staircase and the balcony is made out of Swedish marble, kolmårdsmarmor it's called. It's much harder than Carrara marble, so it doesn't wear and tear. And the balconies where the Nobel Prize winners, together with the Nobel Foundation and the members of the royal family, where they walk down to eventually be seated at the honorary table in the Blue Hall. That's the name of this room. And the Blue Hall is packed to the rim, you could say. 1,300 honorable guests from all over the world. They sit in this room to honor 4 of the 5 Nobel Prize winners. The organ up at the ceiling, it is the largest in Scandinavia, has more than 10,000 pipes.
Tell me about this wonderful hall in the City Hall.
This hall is part of the political domains of the City Hall, where the mayor of Stockholm and the officials, where they have the rooms. The cities are very powerful in Sweden, and the City Hall is the biggest employer in Stockholm. 40,000 people work for the City Hall in a city with 900,000 inhabitants. The council chamber takes its inspiration from the Viking era. And if we go back 1,000 years in time, alongside the shores of the Lake of Mälaren, we have had one of the biggest Viking communities in the world, the Golden Hall.
It is golden.
It is gold. The golden mosaics have been made by, you have a sheet of glass, then you put gold leaf on the sheet of glass, and then you paste them on the walls. But it took more than a year for some 200-300 people to put all these mosaics in place.
The detail here is just absolutely unbelievable.
Yes, it's marvelous.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you. The Golden Hall is covered in gold. We're talking 19 million golden mosaic tiles. And the mosaics, they tell us the story of our nation. So on one side we have the kings and queens of Sweden. On the other side we have the famous Swedes, engineers, architects, designers and so forth. But the main piece here in the Golden Hall is the Lake of Mälaren Queen. And you can see her behind me. She is the protector of Stockholm. If you look carefully at the Lake of Mälaren Queen, and she bears the name of the vast lake on the western side of Stockholm, she holds Stockholm in her lap. The City Hall is there, the Royal Palace is there, and she sits between the west and the east. And if you look on the west of the Lake of Mälaren Queen, you can see the Eiffel Tower, but you can also see American symbols like the Statue of Liberty and the skyscrapers of New York stretching up into the sky. The City Hall was inspired by many different styles, and on the eastern side of the Lake of Mälaren Queen you can see symbols of the Orient. You see the Byzantine half moon, you see Constantinople there, you see elephants and exotic animals. So it's a very eclectic building. The styles and the art comes from everywhere. The City Hall is also the room for the dances. After the Nobel Prize banquet, when the 1,300 guests have completed their dinner together, they come up here into the Golden Room to dance waltz and even other more popular dances.
City Hall is an impressive and amazing structure. City Hall is a very grand and important building in Stockholm, and it's where the City Council meets to discuss business. The Old Town, which is also called Gamblestan, is the Stockholm's original city center and consists of many islands and inlets. Public transportation is very accessible. When you visit Stockholm, you must visit the Old Town because it's very lively and it's filled with shops, restaurants, and museums. The Royal Palace is the official residence of the King and Queen. The Royal Palace is located in the Old Town and soldiers stand guard.
That's challenging. Yeah. So we should. I don't know how we should.
Lunch in one of the outdoor cafes in the square is a must experience. Cheers to Stockholm! Cheers to Stockholm! Lutheran churches are throughout Stockholm. The cobblestone streets and yellow ochre-colored buildings date back to the 13th century, but most buildings are from the 17th and 18th century. These colorful German-inspired buildings line the squares. It's a glorious labyrinth of charming cobble streets, alleyways, fading mustard and rust-colored townhouses and meeting squares, reflecting German architecture. Now, if you want a very special experience, you'll have to come to Stockholm, Sweden. It's unbelievable. I think that's about 5 words. I'm here at the Haymarket Hotel. It's a new hotel. It's trendy. It's where everybody hangs out. And don't forget to go to the Old Town, where the buildings are from the 13th century. It's unbelievable. They are colorful and fabulous. Remember, my world is your world. So get up, get out, and travel! Ferries and sightseeing boats shuttle passengers between islands beneath more than 50 bridges. I look forward to seeing you next week at another great destination. So long for now.